Hello everybody, thank you again for logging in to Archery Country YouTube channel. My name is Waite, and today we're going to talk about probably one of the most dreaded words in archery, and that's called target panic. Target panic broken down, every archer, every corner of the world has some form of target panic. It can mean that you lock below the target, you're anticipating the trigger, or you're anticipating the shot going off. And the different forms, there's drive-bys, you lock above, below. You just can't acquire your pin on the target without slapping that trigger. And this can be detrimental in the target world. If you're getting down to peer pressure or pressure situation and things need to go right, it usually goes wrong. In a hunting situation, if you're slapping that trigger, you're anticipating, especially on a drive-by, you can completely miss your animal, and it doesn't have to be very far away, and it can still happen. So today we have 4 easy steps to help you overcome target panic. First and foremost, you need to admit to yourself that you have some form of target panic. You need to say, self, I have it, and I want to take the process, break it down, and do things right. And this works for all styles of shooters. There's command shooters, meaning you're telling your shot to go off. There is the surprise shot, hinge shooters, resistant shooters, thumb button, whichever form that you use, it's going to be the same process. So we've admitted to it. The second step that we're going to do to get over target panic is we are going to draw our bow back with an arrow, acquire the target. We're going to leave the pin on the target and just sit there and wait and wait and wait until that shot sequence breaks down and your pin float goes all over. Then you're going to let your bow down. You hear target archers say all the time, the best shot in archery is a shot that you did not shoot, you let down. Again, it just gives you time to refocus. And this is something that's going to take a process. This isn't a 24-hour fix or even a week fix. This is going to be a month or many, many days of doing this over and over and over again. So after you do that repetitively and get it kind of, your mental breakdown is now letting you familiarize yourself with just your pin floating on the target and you're not having to break a shot. Next, we're going to actually work backwards. So the third step of target panic, or getting over that, is going to be what we call blank bailing. So if you have, there's 2 steps to this. If you have target panic so bad that you cannot put your pin on the target and our first exercise or step number 2 did not work, I want you to take your sight completely off your bow. So you look at just a bare bow with your peep, and then you're going to go to a blank target. Your target is not going to have any form of paper on it, any crosshairs, anything to even look at. Again, you're going to draw your bow. Now you are going to work through your shot sequence, but you're going to acquire your target without having a pin. And then you're going to work through your process of squeezing the trigger or pulling through with a hinge or on your finger, just squeezing things off so it surprisingly the shot breaks. And once you experience a surprise shot, things are going to be a lot more comfortable for you when we put the sight back on. And again, this is going to be for a week. Mornings, nights, afternoons, whenever you can shoot 10 to 50 arrows, just blank bailing, looking at absolutely nothing. And now we're tying in your mind and your focus. And the second stage of step number 3 would be having a sight on, but again, you're not aiming at anything. You're looking at a blank bail. And it's very, very important that you don't find the shot out spot on your target. You don't find anything to put your pin on. You're just allowing your mental to go through and say it's okay to break a shot without even aiming. This all ties together with where we're headed on our 4th step. And the 4th step is going to be one of the most simple. Instead of grabbing a paper target from your pro shop or your target on your Glendale buck or your Reinhardt or whatever it be, I want you to grab an 8x11 piece of printer paper. And I want you to put this on your target and stand approximately 8 to 10 yards from your target. So what we're doing with such a huge target is there is no aiming reference except for 8x11 inches. And we're going to work through this process very, very slowly. What we're going to do is we're going to hang this, we're going to draw our bow back again with an arrow in it, we're going to acquire our target, get into our anchor, and we're just going to let the pin float in the entire 8x11 piece of a paper. We're not going to try to pin it in the center, we're not going to try for a corner or a different air hole. We're just going to let your mind say it's okay for my pin to float in that entire. And it's very important that you don't try to do this at 80 yards or 50 yards because this paper gets very, very small at that yardage, but up close, about 10 yards. So no matter what size pin or dot or magnification on your lens you have, there's enough room to where if you have exaggerated pin float, you're still comfortable, you're not leaving your target, and then execute your shot. Breathing, squeezing, pulling, whatever it may be, how you do it. And again, this is gonna be a week or a couple week process of just blank bailing with a large target. Then after those 4 steps, and you're a month into this, is you can take the opportunity to go and start slow and start close. Again, that 10, 15, 20 yards, just really concentrating on letting your pin float on your target and executing your shot. And the reason that you went through this entire process is as soon as your pin gets on there, bam, you don't want that. You want a surprise release. You want your mental focus to be on letting the pin float and then executing so things break free and clean. And again, if you have any more questions on this, you can talk to any of our tips online, or you can stop in any of the pro shops or give us a call. Then we'll walk you through the process and help you with it. I need you to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. And thanks again for tuning in to Archery Country YouTube.